the scenes of
how you can sell more,
save time,
reduce the cost of your leads,
and produce predictable results every single day.
Let's get it on.
Woo! Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad we are on because there's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Oh, what is it?
I wanted to talk to you about how having your telemarketer a part of your team, what of a difference that makes.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I have had this conversation a few times about how, you know, having that goal as a team, you know, we always talk about being the coach of the team. And if the team is at the same goal, that's why, you know, that's how teams win, right? They have that GPS, that focus. We're all on the same team. We have the same GPS. If anything changes, we're all going to maneuver and pivot. But keeping your telemarketers a part of your team is a huge deal.
Yeah. It helps with the culture, right?
It does. There's a lot more motivation for a telemarketer if they're going to help, you know, if Samantha's helping John get close that deal, right? That makes Samantha feel good. And then John's like, yeah, Samantha, that transfer you just got, I just closed it and stuff. High fives. Yeah. It's
virtual
like
high five.
Such a win. Like everybody celebrates their wins together.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I know you've done a lot of different types of telemarketing. I've done a whole lot of different types of telemarketing. Obviously, we've arrived at the same conclusion and are doing it the same way now, right? Using TeleDudettes and doing it that way. But, you know, I've had them in the office. And even when they were in the office, they weren't part of the team. They were there at night. But, you know, then there's that whole headache of hiring and that whole thing, right? So, and then I've bought services that just provide one or provide whatever. And there wasn't any cohesion, right? It was, that's a product over there and this is a product over here. And I think where it was real effective in how we kind of put it together was making them really part of the team. Because it, like, to your point, you know, they're going to perform better when they're happy, right? When they're happy and 100%. They are included. They're part of the club.
Yep.
And and our producers, I mean, I've had basically all the same ones for over a year, and they all know each of them and their personalities, you know?
Yeah.
Like, totally. Oh, I got a Connie lead, you know, or I got a, and they come differently, right? Because they're working with a different person.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. It does. It makes a big difference. And I would almost say like that's the magic behind it, right? That's the magic behind, well, I guess any winning team is when they're all on the same team and the same goal. And it's funny because, you know, going back to when COVID hit and we had to go remote with our agencies as well, you know, we're using, you know, an online chat, we're using Zoom and stuff. And when you're active on those platforms, you know, you might be in a room that feels kind of stuffy or whatever, you know, everybody's all over the planet, different houses and everything. But like when you're doing that as and you guys have a team, everything around you kind of fades away. It's almost like, it's just like being in a room together in a sense, because you still feel that camaraderie. Like you're celebrating those wins, you're chatting back and forth, you know, you might be doing the meetings, definitely bringing your teledudes in those meetings here and there. And it really just, I mean, we're all going through a lot during those times, and to be a part of each other's lives and celebrating those wins, it's like a whole nother level. Like to your point, it's not just like a service, right? It's not just like, hey, I got Sam on the phone. Sam wants a quote.
Right.
Like,
no, they have fun.
Level.
They have fun with them, you know?
It is fun.
It's been really cool to create that kind of family environment, right? It's a family.
Right.
Love them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would almost say, so why do we stop sometimes at one level? Like, why do we stop at the level of like you have your staff, right? You're awesome with your agents. You have a bond. But then we might not talk like that to another service that you have on the phone, or to this point, telemarketers, right? Why do we stop there? We should really be developing this culture where we're all just crushing it together. We're all on the same team, and the results are incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You and I have both had troubles in the past with staff years ago, with staff and culture in the agency. And it's just, we both completely changed that. And now everybody does help each other. Everybody feels bad if Sally's having a bad week and, she's sharing with the team. I mean, it's like night and day difference, but I would challenge. Yeah. And I would challenge everybody to not just stop at like your front lines, your vendors, your everybody that you guys talk to, because again, we're talking to people on the phone too, clients and stuff like that. It should just, like we always talk about, perfect practice makes perfect permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, practice, everybody be awesome to them.
Practice being awesome.
And yep. And then you won't be off. Like, you're just constantly on.
It's a slippery slope to go down to that negative mindset. And I remember, and it happens a lot. You can be in some kind of agent setting where everybody, hey, how's it going? Oh, my staff, right? And everybody's complaining about their staff. But again, who put the staff there? Right? I used to complain about my staff. And it's interesting. It's like, well, then why are they there? And how did they get there? We need to be pumped about our staff, about our team, right? We need to be excited that we have such an awesome team, that we have great players, and all of the different pieces, and great vendors, right? I'm not going to, at this point, being 90, I don't want to work with anybody if it isn't an enjoyable relationship, but it's certainly not going to be unenjoyable from my side of the street.
Yep. And I think that does come with agent experience.
Yeah.
And to our point of like, that's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
It's not fun not wanting to show up. It's really fun being stoked to see everybody.
Yeah. And you're not
stoked out.
You're not going to win, especially now with the younger generation. They're not going to acquiesce to the fear and intimidation strategy of management.
Right.
I remember somebody saying seagull management. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's where you fly in, you shit on everybody, and then you fly out. That doesn't work.
That's it. That's the biggest takeaway from today.
Yeah.
The seagull.
Don't be a seagull manager or a seagull.
Don't be a seagull manager. Build a strong team and include your telemarketers. Yeah. It's a big deal. You get a lot more wins. Yeah. There's definitely a lot more wins.
Yeah. Whether you put together your own team of telemarketers, you're hiring and doing all the work and doing all that stuff, that's fine. But be mindful. They're humans. They're part of your team. If you work with us, we're going to help a lot with that facilitation to make that happen. And that's great too. It's just really, really good to be good to people. So I cut you off, Mr. Jason.
No, it's all good. I was just going to tell everybody, go to live.teledudes.com, and we do a little presentation on what the TeleDudes is and how easy it can be, implemented at your agency.
Yep. Because you need the dials.
Gotta get the dials. Dial in for dollars. But I mean, I love that. I think there was a lot of good takeaways right there. And yeah. Go crush it.
Thanks for finding us here on the iTunes. And if you haven't, or, all of the places, iHeartRadio, I don't know who goes on there, but somebody probably does.
Google.
Yeah, the Google, the Spotify. Alexis, the wherever, the Spotifys, the YouTubes. You like to say the tubes of you?
The tubes of you.
And if you haven't heard the main podcast, the Insurance Dudes podcast, I mean, At the time of this recording, we're right at about 250 published episodes. Congratulations,
Crazy.
Mr. Jason.
You too, Mr. Craig.
Oh, thanks, Mr. Jason. Well, why don't we bid them an adieu?
Adieu.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it.